Victoria mentioned the idea that everything's been changed. So, everything from the chromatic scale and the frequency that music is played at, to the calendar, to everything we understand, to time, the clocks, all of it. Essentially, all that plays into this idea that we want to dissociate from what the reality is. And so for example, music, if anybody has ever watched They Clone Tyrone. Have you seen They Clone Tyrone? It's on Netflix. Go watch it.
Okay. What is it?
It's essentially, it's like a comedy. It's a black comedy conspiracy movie.
Okay.
But it talks, but they did this very exaggerated thing where, they were playing music in a club and they were able to use music to mind control. So I'm in the music industry. Please keep this in mind.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said for the frequencies and the vibrations that are created with music.
Yes.
And they can influence subconsciously.
Yes.
The system that we live in is very, very sublime. It's a beautiful thing, but it's a very weird and fucked up thing that they've created. And so, for example, everything from the food we eat to the things that we watch, there's a scientific method that goes down on how to control individuals subconsciously. It's subconscious. So for example, colors that we see in commercials, sounds that they put in commercials. It's all designed to trigger certain responses in the brain, trigger certain impulses. Subliminal messaging within logos and ads. There's so much that we don't really realize. And so going back to that idea of frequency, music is at 440 hertz. That is the base calibration for all music now. There's a way that you can do it in other hertz, and that's okay. And to some people it sounds better, but part of it is that in order to really reset everything, you have to play each instrument at the correct frequency that was intended to be played at. And it's kind of hard to do when you don't really have an understanding of what it was before. So, for example, you'll find stuff that's like some like beats and stuff like that are calibrated to whatever hertz frequency, and then they're basically just running it through an algorithm to change the hertz. But it's not true. It's not like all the way accurate. So like people that do like 963 hertz meditations and stuff like that. That's the crown chakra frequency for those of you that are curious. It works, but it's not the true frequency. And so I like being an audiophile and going through all this audio engineering stuff. That kind of taught me a lot.
I would like to know how, with all this knowledge that you have, and you create music, how do you use this in your music? What kind of music do you create? What kind of messages are you putting out into the world? And what spells are you casting on your audience? And how do you shift how you create things based on the knowledge that you have? Or do you at all? Do you use this in your music?
I actually do. I talk a lot about this stuff, actually. So everything that I do, so there was a time when the way I look at music is that I should always reflect the journey of the individual. So it's always like a reflection of your inner self.
Yeah.
There was a time when I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing, and that music reflected that. I was doing stuff with some unsavory individuals in unsavory environments, and that was the music I was projecting.
Of course.
Now, and in the last, I'd say like 3 or 4 years, I've been making like good music that's really centered around uplifting messages. Even when I made music that was like some interesting messages, it wasn't always specifically like condoning it, but it was more like just speaking on it. Now it's more like we're talking about esoteric principles. I'm giving you gems, and it's like you have to now Google the lyrics and figure out what the hell I'm saying to like really, really figure it out. So, and that's it with rap, R&B, whatever it may be.
Do you have like a set of lyrics that you can say right now as an example?
Let me think. Okay, so it's this song that I wrote called Yours. It's out on all platforms if anybody wants to go check it out.
Are you gonna read it?
I'm gonna read it because it's just easier. So, Back on my conscious station. The internet plus lower thinking brings inoculation, more like indoctrination. I have the dream to inspire and stand up on the stage and have concert goers recite my lyrics with perfect cadence. The current state is heinous. Too many people think they educated, really brainless. Too many mixing opinions, conflicting mental status. You yearn for change and yet the attitudes are so complacent. You want a savior to come down, fix all your mistakes. Wow, you casually watch it so you can sing their praises. It makes sense why so many still trapped in the matrix. So proud to boast that you woke, a contradictive statement.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, I'll give you one more. I'm on my J. Cole. Uni got me on payroll. Uni is in the universe, dust on top of a cradle. Suez Canal, but walking. I'm bridging between two planes, no worlds connecting, talking through mediums like a cell phone. Huh. Tickle me Elmo. Niggas is soft and mellow. Me, I'm locked in like Velcro. Stuck on healing myself, Joe. Wired in like some headphones. Working, collecting pesos. All PC like it's Metro. Legal and it's successful. Kids crashing out for the idea of beef, just like it's Wendy's. Where's it at? And yet you still looking weak. I demonstrate better sentiments. I ain't nowhere my peak. They can say knowledge is power, and so he changed what we see. It's the blind leading the blind. The strings don't gotta hide. The quid pro quo of the system. The intricacy sublime. Make the most of my time. Savor it like a wine. Life remains rain or shine, so find you a reason why to be the light.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I find it so fascinating that the universe brought us here. I knew nothing about you. And funny enough, you are also an artist.
Damn.
And you also create uplifting music, and you're spreading the positive message like into the world in your own creations. I didn't know any of this, and yet somehow we ended up talking about all this stuff. Granted, half of it for some reason didn't record. So I guess we'll see what did and what we're able to actually share with the world. That'll be interesting for me later.
Some knowledge is meant to be hidden.
Some knowledge is meant to be hidden. We covered a lot of stuff that a lot of people just won't hear. It's not even that they won't understand, but they literally won't hear it.